Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This is the first tutorial in the series of tutorials on SQL. My name is Madhur and I am a software engineer from India, and I have recorded two series of tutorials on C and shell scripting earlier, and this is my third series. So I hope you guys have fun watching the tutorials in this course, and it's going to be a slightly long series because we're going to try to cover as many features of SQL as possible, and there's a lot to learn, so let's get started. And the first thing that we have to do is understand what SQL is and why we need to learn it, and then what are the prerequisites for this course. And we're going to talk about those things in this tutorial. So SQL, as you can see, stands for Structured Query Language, and it was developed in the 80s to handle databases. Now, uh, quite a lot of you won't be knowing what a database is, and we're going to check out databases in detail in future tutorials. But for the time being, just know that a database is a place where you have some data, right? So it could be anything, and the data has to be of some significance to you or the organization where you're working, and you get data and you just put it together and you make a database, right? So that's all you need to know about databases for now. And lots of people use SQL. It's really very popular. It's been in business for about what 35 years now. So it's really popular, and you would really have fun learning it, and you'll also get to use it at a lot of places. And why you should learn it, as I said, it's really easy to learn, and it's fun to use. And any organization that deals with large amounts of data uses some database management system. So DBMS is a software. Now, you keep your data in the memory of your computer, right? And SQL is a language that you use to sort of interact with your databases, but you also need to have some interface, right? And a DBMS is nothing but that interface. So you have data in the memory, and DBMS is the interface, and SQL is the language that you use to communicate with your databases through DBMS or through the interface, right? So I hope I'm making some sense, and we're going to talk about all these things later on. But database management systems are really popular, and there are lots and lots of database management systems available in the market, and we're going to use MySQL in this course. And in the next tutorial, probably I'll discuss how we can install MySQL on Windows. And also, if you're planning to have a website sometime in future, or if you already have a website and if someone else is managing the website for you, and if you want to take over that job, then you need to master this thing, because if you have a dynamic website, then it needs to interact with users, and it needs to store user data somewhere, and generally you store it in some database, and you obviously have to know how to use SQL and how to use database management systems to do more exciting stuff with the data that you have in your databases, right? And how we're going to go about this course, firstly, I hate making PowerPoint presentations, and those of you who've seen my tutorials on C or shell scripting, you guys would be knowing that I rarely ever use PowerPoint presentations. But in this course, we're going to learn certain things using PowerPoint, because we're going to understand a lot of concepts, like what is a table and what is a field and rows, and primary key and candidate key and columns and all those things. So those are concepts. And then we're also going to talk about database normalization, and how we can perform join operations and stuff. So I'm going to try to make the tutorials very entertaining and as illustrative as possible, but then we're also going to use PowerPoint presentations to some extent. And then we're going to start with the basics, and then we're going to check out some heavy stuff at the end of the course. Or maybe we're just going to deal with the beginner stuff in this series, and then I'm going to make a separate series in which we'll discuss some advanced concepts like performing join operations and stuff, right? But it's going to be entertaining, so you guys will have fun, I can assure you that. And it's going to be long, and that's only because there's a lot to cover. So is there anything you need to know to take this course? Nothing. You need to have no prior knowledge about programming or even about SQL. You just have to follow the tutorials, and just do what we do in the tutorials, execute the queries, and just see what kind of output you're getting, and just try to make some sense And as long as you do that, you don't need any reference manuals or textbooks, nothing. You just need to follow the tutorials, and I'll try not to bore you, right? And what do you need? You need to have some database management system installed on your PC, and we're going to use MySQL in this course, and you can use any other DBMS. If you have Microsoft SQL Server, or if you have Oracle installed, then you can proceed with those DBMSs as well. But I'm going to discuss instructions to install MySQL, and it's a very cool DBMS. It's not my favorite. I like Oracle more, but MySQL is also very popular, and we're going to check out how to install that in the next tutorial. So, and also we're going to learn the ANSI SQL, right? So ANSI stands for American National Standard for something institute, I don't know what, but it's a body that sets standards for technologies, and the ANSI SQL is a standard to which all the database management systems available in the market have to sort of conform to, right? So as long as you're using ANSI SQL, you can work with any other database, with any database. But if you start using MySQL specific functions that are not part of the ANSI SQL, then those functions might or might not work with Oracle or Microsoft SQL Server. So I hope you're getting the point that we're going to learn the standard, and then from there on you can sort of experiment with different database systems, and you can pick the one that you like the most, and then learn built-in functions and other kind of functions for the databases that you like. Right, so let's get started. I'm going to see you in the next tutorial, in which as I said, we're going to understand how we can install MySQL. And please subscribe to my channel in case you haven't already, and I'll see you soon.